But yeah, Titanic, it was revolutionary in film. I gotta respect it. It's a solid film.
It stood the test of time, right? When it came out, millions and millions of women went to watch it, and even now, millions of women watch it.
Yeah.
It just
how's it?
even now, millions of women force their boyfriends to watch it.
Yes.
But it does stand on its own.
Fantastic pick. Would have put it on my list, but
Far wherever
you are, I believe that the heart will go on. Yeah. You're here. Okay, I'm done. Sorry. That's it.
next
Jurassic
one,
Park.
Jurassic Park. Fantastic pick. Hello and welcome to the podcast.
Welcome,
This is a new
everybody.
podcast.
It might have been like demon possessed. It was a fairly large, mutated-looking chicken.
We were born in the north, but we grew up in the south.
We learned all of our words from Pennsylvania.
and people are that toboggan, that little toboggan.
Not
there.
a toboggan. A toboggan is a sled. Okay.
0.3 inches, baby.
Dude, I can't take it. Welcome back to the Wacky Wonderful Wiseworks podcast.
It's not as good when you sing.
Oh yeah.
We appreciate you being here, all you guys, gals, geeks, and goofballs.
We started a thing.
Yeah,
thing.
let's kick it off.
I can fix that.
You can fix it, or you. Well, you know, it was my idea, so I don't want anybody to fix it.
Don't fix it.
Don't
What?
fix it.
Just
It's mine.
say you'll
Oh,
fix it. But you don't have
the
to.
intro.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about something else.
Don't say I can fix that after my intro.
Hey, yeah, don't need fixing.
Yeah, don't need fixing.
So
Fixins.
I was thinking the same thing.
let's get right into this. No, not quite. We're not getting into the episode yet. I was just gonna say
Yeah.
to recap the week. Wyatt cleaned up a lot of poop. I had a bad week. Joseph had a fantastic
clean up
week.
poop.
I haven't
Let's
had
get
a
into the
fantastic
episode.
week. I've been busy, man.
Why you rushing the beginning, man?
I'm kidding.
This is
Just
people's
take
favorite
our
part,
time.
probably, maybe. I don't know. Tell us what your favorite part is. Do you hate the topics and love the beginning?
Still working on the mustache.
It's coming in.
All right,
Yeah.
that was a big segment last week. We're not talking about the mustache this week.
Okay. It's so fun to talk about.
We should give him a name.
Reginald.
Reginald. Okay.
Yeah.
Reginald.
Yeah. Like Luke's cat.
Reginald needs to be needs to go into the dark
Yeah. Maybe.
quietly.
Go quietly into the night.
Quietly into the night.
So, how was your week? How was your
Well,
how
work
was
has
your
been-
weekend? How was your week going?
Yeah. The weekend was good. Finished the table I was working on.
Oh, beautiful table.
Thank you.
Terrible table.
Shut up.
You know what, Joshua? Next time you build
I'll
a
cut
table.
you. You insult that table again. Okay.
Go ahead, bro.
Was
It's sorted.
Table. It was a table.
But yes, I finished the table. Watched movies preparing for this episode.
Yeah.
3. I have not watched 3 new movies over one weekend. And I didn't watch 3. I watched 3 new ones and one I already had watched to get brushed up on.
Yeah.
And I watched all of
That's
them.
4 movies over a weekend that are relatively brand new.
No,
I haven't
had
done that
already
in a
seen all of
while.
them.
I feel a little.
I did.
Congested.
I watched the new one I watched was Dead Poet Society.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna get into
We'll get
it.
into
We'll get
that,
into it.
talking about what you thought of it and everything. But anything interesting, any stories you guys would like to talk about?
Well, I'm sure you've heard the elevator poop story a number of times today.
Well, let's tell it for the people.
live.
Okay, so
Elevator poop. This is Canon.
This is part of my recap. I said Wyatt cleaned up poop.
exactly, you just brushed over all the good stuff. So I was outside this morning. I was enjoying the sunlight, right? The beautiful air. Man, it was so nice. It wasn't cold. It was nice and warm. I was picking up trash, right?
I'm trying to do like
Okay.
nice sunny.
I got
sunny.
the ambiance. I got
Yeah.
you. So I'm out there and I'm picking up trash. I'm about halfway around the buildings that I clean, and I get a call from my I get he's in the position above me. His name is Gary, and he says, "Hey Wyatt, where you at right now?" And I'm like, I'm outside picking up trash, right? Say it with a little bit of like a pep in my step, because I'm enjoying it.
Hey, Mr. Gary, I'm outside picking up trash. What are you doing, my brother?
So
My brother. My guy.
But I know every time I get one of these calls, it's going to be, we got to go move something or clean up something, right? Mm-hmm. He's like, well, in building 3, there's poop in the elevator. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, there's like dog poop or something in the elevator. And I was like,
maybe it wasn't dog poop.
I'm pretty sure it was dog poop. I could recognize human feces from a mile away. I worked at a school.
Okay.
So I get my car, I get my mop, I get my broom, and I get over to the elevator. In the corner of the elevator, there's poop. There's poop.
Poop.
Yeah, stuck to the wall, stuck to the floor. I just cleaned it up.
What was your method for cleaning?
I have a crappy dustpan on my cart that I use to scrape it off the wall, scrape it off the ground.
So now it went from a crappy dustpan to a crap dustpan.
Well, that's what I use that dustpan for. I don't actually use the dustpan. And then I spray it with the awesome spray, and then I cleaned it up with the mop and everything, and it's smelled good in there. Mm-hmm. But man,
no one's the wiser.
I was having a good morning too.
It seems like the poop stories is a common occurrence with you.
Top it off, my phone didn't get charged the night before, so I had about 30% of battery when I got to work and no way to charge my phone.
Did you get a chance to listen to your stuff today?
Yeah, I did. But for 2 hours before work or before lunch, my phone was on like 13%, so I just turned off everything. All the power draining devices, and I put it in my pocket. And on lunch, I went and picked up a charger for the car. Yeah.
What a day!
What a day, man! I real quick, I asked the guy he was filming. I saw a guy as I went out to the Rite Aid to pick up the cord, and he was filming, and he was on the sidewalk in front of the intersection, and on my way out I was like, hey man, what you filming? Right, because I was interested, I wanted to know. Right, he's like, the intersection. That's it. He didn't say anything else.
Was it like a camcorder that
he had?
No,
it was a big camera. It was like bigger than that camera.
Okay, so
big news camera.
Big news. So probably ones I use.
I see when you describe camera, you're like, that camera, and you pick the biggest one we have.
Yeah, like, and you're where's a big camera? That one.
It's like that one.
It was like twice that size.
Okay. Do you know if it was massive. A Sony? Could you spot the Sony?
I couldn't see anything.
We use a lot of Sonys at work, and ours is maybe about that size and a half, maybe twice that size, with all of its contraptions on it. But But yeah, they're.
This is weird. Do you have a greeting that you greet your coworkers with? I've come to be like, my guy, and I just
sorry. Both the guys I work with are older gentlemen. I don't know how old Jay is. I think he's probably in his late 30s or something. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just hit him with a saw, dude.
Saw, dude.
No, I don't. I don't say that to my coworkers. Or like when the property manager people come into the front building, right? They're like more corporate people. It's like, hey, saw, dude. That'd be so weird. No, I don't have a greeting.
I'm always like, my guy.
Really?
I see him. Yeah.
Are you becoming known for that, or is it only in
You're the
head?
my guy.
My guy.
Probably not.
No.
I used to say. I had a couple coworkers, and I'm pretty sure I said this on the podcast before. I would usually work the same time, so I get there before everybody else, and everybody's coming in around like 7 or 8 for the the day shift workers, and I'm there a little before everybody else. So I see the people who come in, and sometimes they're carrying their lunch. Some people go out and get their lunch, but a couple of them, they'll eat pretty healthy. But they allow themselves to have one can of soda pop to treat themselves. Like this one guy, he always had a Mellow Yellow.
Yeah.
Like every day. He ate decently clean, but he treated himself with the Mellow Yellow at lunch. So every time I saw him, I would be like, instead of another day, another dollar, I would be like, another day, another sody pop. I would say that every day.
I've known a couple people that like sometimes eat almost nothing for lunch, but then be like drinking sodas all day.
I don't think that's a good alternative.
I don't think so. See, there was a while where I was getting like a Coke, like a Coke or a Dr. Pepper every day.
It's hard. Once you do that for like a week and a half, it's hard to stop.
And now I'm like, I can't even imagine. I can't imagine drinking that much.
How long have you been off? Like since you moved here?
Or? Yeah, pretty much. If I'm really feeling it, I'll be like, I'll get a Coke, right? Usually, if there's a Coke Zero around or a Diet Dr. Pepper, I'll hit up one of those two options. but sometimes there's a rare occasion when I see a sugary drink and I'm like,
yeah. Thank the Lord for sugar.
I hear that. We're going to be getting into this because I think there's a lot for us to say. I think we should just get into it.
I don't think we should try to limit ourselves.
Is there anything happening in the world that you guys are excited about or interested in?
I know that you want to say...
Tesla stock is going down.
I know you want to talk about the pandemic thing.
It's going back up now. It's back up.
Oh, is it back up?
Back up.
Oh.
See, I told you, I think we like to... This kind of off the podcast off. We don't share this as much. We've mentioned this on a couple podcasts, but we like to dabble in the stonks a little bit.
I knew you were going to say that, man.
Stonks.
The stonks.
Well, you know, I saw a news article that said that like either a quarter or half of the young people that get their stimulus check invest at least half of it into stocks.
Maybe. I think with the late boom in stonks, there's a lot of people that's getting into it because
people want to invest.
Yeah, they see that there's a thing.
Well, I think a lot of them went to gamble.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm guilty of that. I started with 200, but my numbers are up.
That's good.
But yeah, there's there's a few things. The pandemic is kind of officially
better
over.
buy that Bitcoin before Apple buys it out. You know, we talked about that a couple weeks ago.
Well, you've already changed from Joshua predicts from Tesla to Apple.
No. Do you not remember this? Apple is gonna buy a car company, electric car company. That's gonna be their future. So they're gonna go
you
in
said
with Tesla.
last week on the podcast, you're like, Joshua predicts Tesla buys Bitcoin, and then you raised your glass like this.
Wait, Tesla? No, I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
I've always said
I edit the podcast. I get a second run through.
Okay. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember anything.
This is what I meant to say if I said Tesla. I don't know why I would say Tesla. Apple is going to buy a car company, electric car company like Tesla, and they're also going to buy some sort of cryptocurrency, and they're going to rule the world.
This sounds more like doomsday.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah, he predicts doomsday.
Mm-hmm.
Joshua predicts doomsday. Are you a prepper? No. You haven't prepared a thing.
A little bit.
A little bit.
What you got to prepare? Like a day worth of food?
Like, I got to have my...
Sit up at the mic, Joshua. You're being a bad podcast host.
Bad, I don't know.
Get close to the mic.
You want to get into this movie stuff?
I was going to say that, I mean, if you can't turn up the fire with your phone while you're out surviving the apocalypse, you're going to have a hard time.
Dude, I'm an Eagle Scout.
That's right.
I'm an Eagle Scout.
When was the last time you started a fire, though?
Like,
not
too
digital
long ago,
fire.
I think.
Could you do it with one batch?
I have a badge for them. Like,
oh, wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Something he did back when he was 14.
I've done it without a batch.
Without flint and steel doesn't count.
He just pays on the fire and it lights.
With flint and steel?
With flint and steel? Are you okay? Count. What are you talking? Are you talking about a ferrocerium rod or a flint and steel?
Ferrocerium rod. The ones we had growing up were ferrocerium rods.
Those are ferrocerium rods.
A bunch of times.
What was that again?
As many times as you want.
Yeah.
You go. Is that what you used?
One more time.
I've used one of those.
Hold on. So much easier than a match.
I've used one of those, and I've used a flint and steel, a legit one. Have you know what? The flint and steel, you got to put the char cloth on the flint. You got to smack it with the thing.
I'll do you one better,
and
Wyatt.
It creates an ember.
Do one better. Have you ever heard of the bow technique using sticks and a string?
I've made a fire with a bow drill.
Have you ever done one?
Because I have too.
Yeah.
Like just sticks and rope.
I've
Yeah.
made-
Have you guys ever done one with your hands? Just shh.
Oh my gosh.
That's
that sounds
impossible.
awful.
That's impossible.
No, it's not.
possible.
I've done it.
It's possible, but it's basically impossible.
I've done
There's
it.
the primitive.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
Primitive.
No, you have not.
The
Yes, I
primitive.
have.
The
You have
primitive
not.
skills guys.
do it all the time.
on YouTube. He would demonstrate every time he made a fire. He
He
made a
primitive
couple,
technology.
No, I think the one guy with his shirt off. Yeah. He would do that all the time. That was like but of course he had the rod he used was long, so he could go all the way down.
He would always make himself a new rod.
Yeah, and get a lot of friction. So to create the ember.
Primitive technology.
I believe there's a guy out there that's done this on YouTube, but I do not believe Joseph has done this. I know he has not done this.
I've done it.
With the hand friction?
He's not done this.
Oh.
I know his friction.
Oh,
he's not.
Jeez,
he does
that
not.
sounds awful.
Yeah, it's hard.
Oh,
He's
my
not
gosh.
done this.
Yes,
I mean,
I
I
have.
struggled with the bow drill.
Mm-hmm.
Struggled. Right?
Struggle.
He's not done this.
So.
It's super easy, actually. It's not that hard.
Let's get into these films because my guy's jerking on chain over here.
Getting off topic. All right.
So this week is part 2 of the 4-part installment.
Actually, no.
Of
6-part because we're gonna
films.
go back and do 40s and 50s. Right?
Let's do a quick welcome to the what did we call it? Films from the decades.
Decades.
We are now doing 80s and 90s.
90s.
And a little bit of 80s. too.
Okay, well, there wasn't enough. Not enough enthusiasm.
No.
Cut it out. Cut it out. Just cut it out.
It's a podcast. We don't try to cut things out. All right, we're gonna start with Wyatt's picks. Why are you looking?
Are you really going to not cut that out? What we talked about a second ago?
I'm not cutting out all.
Cut
of
it out
this.
so that all of this is weird.
No.
With my hoodie.
Wyatt started bleeding, but we cut that part out. So
I don't know. I guess I just itched my face. Maybe I had
literally
a
don't
blemish.
stop the podcast. Okay, if he bleeds, he bleeds. It's okay. If you bleed, we're gonna keep going.
but we're going to cut that part out. Right? It's going to take like 2 minutes.
Yes, I'll cut it out, but do not stop the podcast again, please. All right. All right, let's get into this topic here. We're going to talk
Am I
about...
still bleeding?
A little bit, yeah.
No, he's not. It's just a little red mark. You're good. Wyatt. Stop worrying about it. All right. We're going to... How many times have I said the same thing over and over again?
I didn't mean to cut all this out. Just the first part.
Do the slides.
All right, we're going to Wyatt's. His first picks for the 80s and 90s. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
I can't see it. What were his picks?
All right. Let's see. Wyatt, you want to introduce your films from the 80s?
Okay. So, I picked these movies.
You did?
Yes,
thought Joseph
from the
picked them.
80s. Shut up. You're not supposed to give away the secrets. No, I picked these movies because all of my picks are, I think, movies that when they came out were hot. They were hot movies. People loved them. And people have continued to love them. These are movies that
Kind of, yeah.
people, we're not talking about you. We're talking about the majority of people.
You didn't hear about this? I'm what I like
Your people?
is the collective of the whole.
Jeez, wow. People
What a
must
statement.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, we have a savant in our midst.
Yeah.
It's a god complex.
He's got a nice mustache.
Whew. But yeah, so they're movies that have endured and stood the test of time, I think. And I picked Ferris Bueller, which is the first one on here.
I like that pick.
It just, because the movie, just from start to finish, it goes, right?
moves.
And you're kind of, you're rooting for Ferris Bueller. You want to be Ferris Bueller. Everybody knows we're all Cameron, right? His friend.
Oh.
We're all either Cameron or Rooney, and we don't know it. but everybody wants to be Ferris, and it just
See,
the
I'm
movie's
a Ferris.
Yes, you are not. Stop this. Stop.
This has been Joshua's entire life. He always thinks he's stuff, and he's so bold about claiming it. But under pressure, Joshua buckles.
Buckle. You are not Ferris Bueller. I'm not Ferris Bueller.
I'm not Ferris Bueller.
But
are you Ferris Bueller?
Yeah, you guys definitely are, because I am. Because there can only be one.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, if you
talk about the film,
if you're Ferris, then I have to be either Cameron or Sloan, and I think Joe definitely is more of a Sloan than me. It's his girlfriend. It's Ferris's girlfriend.
Have you seen the movie?
Yeah, but it's been a minute. That's rude.
Okay, fine.
I'm not Joshua. If Joshua's Ferris, I'm not the girlfriend.
If Josh is Ferris, then you are definitely his sister, Jeannie.
Yeah.
Trying to put a stop to his antics.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, that's Ferris Bueller. That's why I love Ferris Bueller.
Okay. It's a good film. I agree with it.
It is.
That it should. I agree. It's maybe not the best, but I think it should be on this list.
It's absolutely on my list. And then the Goonies.
We're still rolling on that.
I mean,
Yeah.
everybody's like, again, wants to be one of the Goonies, right?
Well, they want to fall into the predicament the Goonies were in.
See,
right, but I think it's more of, and we've seen the formula, right? Mm-hmm. The formula also has stood the test of time.
Yeah.
Which is the kids getting into situations, right? Everybody wants to be a Goonie. They want to be in, the group of kids from Stand By Me.
Yeah, see, that's a better film in my opinion.
They want to be, but I think the Goonies is Stand By Me, but lighthearted.
Yeah.
Whereas Stand By Me is more of a drama pick.
Goonies is Stand By Me with, what is the dance or the thing they do with their belly?
Oh, the truffle shuffle. Yeah.
Stand By Me with the truffle shuffle.
Goonies is like much more rewatchable Stand By Me.
Can we create a GIF of one of us doing the truffle shuffle to promote this episode?
No. I will never do that again.
I'm looking at you
again.
I will never do that again.
Please.
But yeah. So, I think I could turn on Goonies right now. Stop the podcast. I could watch Goonies right now.
I agree. It should be
if
on
I
the
could
list.
find it on.
All right, let's make a cut. Let's
you
make a
you don't
quick
have
cut.
to. You don't have to agree.
And welcome back. We're here again. We just finished
watching
Goonies.
the Goonies. Yeah. So, Die Hard, right? Which we watched. Okay.
We did.
We did
watch it.
We watched it,
and we had fantastic hamburgers while we did it.
We did,
and tater tots.
Oh man, we made delicious dinner.
Yeah.
So Die Hard, I put on my list.
I had a massive poop in the middle of the film. It was massive, man.
Why are we?
All right.
Deuce Hard.
Deuce Hard.
So I picked Die Hard because, number one, we're gonna have a lot of the big names like Spielberg and George.
We already
Lucas,
got one
right?
Steven Spielberg over here.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a lot. We're gonna have some more dramatic movies, right? But I think we would be remiss if we skipped the hard-hitting action movies of the decade.
I know why this is on your list, but I disagree with it.
What would you put there?
I don't, off the top of my head, I do not have one, but
what's a better action movie that fits into that slot? As far as acting and humor,
I'm pretty sure it was on my 80s list. Top Gun.
Nope. Because the acting in Top Gun is hammy, and they play.
Yeah, but you got that need
and they play
for speed.
They play Danger Zone 4 different times. They play Danger Zone.
But it's fantastic,
right? It's good, and I enjoy the movie. But Die Hard is a much more enjoyable movie.
We have to give honorable mentions at the end.
Right, I understand.
We can't give a bunch of.
I understand
mentions.
why you may disagree, right? But everybody loved Die Hard. When it came out,
everybody loved
you weren't
Danger
there.
Zone.
You weren't there, so
You weren't there, Joshua.
I wasn't.
So
I wasn't.
But
You were not
everybody
even
loved.
Are we even?
You were not even a
qualified
gleam
to-
in our mom's eye.
Are we even
Father's
qualified
eye,
to
I mean.
do 80s and 90s? Because
Yeah.
maybe 90s, but we're like
we're
tail
way
end of
more
90s.
unqualified to do 60s and 70s, and we've
But we
already done
did.
that.
We did.
So yeah, but I mean, you talk to just about, you know, your average person, they're like, oh yeah, Die Hard. Die Hard's a good one. It stood the test of time.
Yeah.
There was some
Even-
good moments.
I would say even up against some modern action movies, Die Hard still kills it.
Yeah.
It do kill it. It do kill it. However, it don't kill it. Obviously, holding up to any more modern films.
That's literally what I said.
I'm
think
about
it
to pay it a
stands the test of
compliment. I
time.
have to give prefaces, or my
Okay, yeah.
spirit
I'm
will
sorry.
feel
I didn't mean to.
unrelieved.
Yeah.
I think Die Hard paved the way for things like Mission Impossible. Wait, did it come before or after Mission Impossible?
Mission Impossible is 90s. This is 80s.
Yeah. No, I think it did. They did stunts in Die Hard that got people thinking about stuff they could do with Mission Impossible.
See, I disagree. In the movie, and I know this is 70s, we're not talking about the 70s, we're talking about the 80s. In the movie, the guy said something about Rambo.
Yeah.
I believe.
This is better than Rambo.
Have you seen Rambo?
Yes.
First Blood? First
Yes.
Blood.
This is a different.
It's just Sylvester Stallone looking jacked and sweaty in a wife beater black thing.
He just
With his
got
hair
a
and a
white beater
headband.
in not First Blood.
So my argument for this movie is it's a different kind of action movie.
Okay.
It changed the status quo for action movies.
There was humor in there.
Right? There was a
respect your
lot
picks.
more humor than in previous action movies. It was less about, you know, a big jacked guy shooting down people. Because ultimately, he doesn't get in, like, you know, the big, you know, shoot from the hip gunfights that Arnold and Sylvester do, right? He's sneaking around. He's barefoot. He's alone, right?
He's bleeding out.
I will say, what's the bad guy? What's his name? The
Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman. I will say,
Hans Gruber.
I respect Alan Rickman as an actor.
I was giggling to myself when he was trying to do that American accent.
Oh, please, no. You're one of them.
You're one of them. He was struggling to
Oh
get
man,
that
I
out,
loved
man.
it though. That's actually one of my favorite parts of it. He's like, oh please,
please.
no, oh you're one of them.
His like I haven't seen Alan Rickman smile as much, like so toothy grins as he did in this one, and he has some funky teeth.
Yeah, he does.
Not bad teeth. They're just oddly shaped.
Yeah, but yeah, I wanted to pick an action movie and I couldn't think of a better one. Yeah,
I mean, if you're gonna talk about action movies, Die Hard's the place.
it's a big action movie. It's a lot of action.
And people loved it. They still talk about it.
They still talk
There's
about
still
it.
a debate every Christmas. What's your favorite Christmas movie? Die Hard can't be on your list.
Yeah, no, everybody's like, Die Hard's a Christmas movie. Shut up, please. Nobody
No,
cares.
but Seth, a beloved individual viewer of the show, he told me this past Christmas, my favorite Christmas movie is Die Hard. Man.
Everybody
and
says
he
it.
said it with a straight
Everybody
face.
says.
Die Hard and
Everybody
Elf.
says
Die
my
Hard and
favorite
Elf,
Christmas
yeah.
movie is Die Hard. It's like we know.
It's everybody's baby.
We know. Everybody says it because it's funny.
You get the gaffs, you get the giggles.
I've said it before.
But you didn't
as
get the
well.
goofs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an
gas.
old goof.
So, all right.
I respect
go
your
on?
list.
Let's
I
move
disagree
on.
with one of them.
Okay.
Yeah, but
We
it's-
all know it's
but it's my-
2021.
yeah, but
if you can't respect the entire thing, then you're completely opposed to it, and you, sir,
You can't disagree
must-
with my
You're
list.
about to bite me, you son of a gun.
You can't disagree with my list. When we come to making a group list, then you can disagree.
Okay.
With my picks.
Yeah.
All right, the gloves have not been taken off yet.
Yeah.
Keep
Once
them
we
on
fight,
for a bit.
we'll fight later.
We're gonna fight. It's coming. It's coming because I'm standing
on.
up.
Go to the next slide, my gay. Which is my picks, correct?
Why it's 90s.
We're doing all of them at once.
Oh,
okay.
we are?
I guess I'm talking a lot.
You know what? I just now realized
Thought
That you messed up the slides.
maybe.
that I messed up the slides. That we
We're
didn't
not-
do it the same way, but we're just gonna
It's
do it
all
this
right.
way. We're just gonna do it this way. We'll change it up each week.
It's all right.
It's similar format.
I'm gonna
Simple.
preface this first pick.
Okay.
Right, with if this doesn't get on the list, then
Which way you going? If it's
I
the one
don't
I'm
know.
thinking, then I disagree. If it's the one,
if this one doesn't get on the list, I think some people are gonna be upset. And I think that's T2 Judgment Day. Okay, no. But seriously, Braveheart.
Fantastic
Braveheart.
opening. Fantastic.
Historically accurate? No.
Fantastic film.
But beautifully shot movie.
freedom.
Epic dialogue.
Honestly, I was this close to picking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I wish I would have picked it.
It was on my big long list.
Who do you think did the music for this?
I don't know.
The illustrious John Williams.
John Williams. Yeah.
He did music for Braveheart?
I think he did. Am I right?
We're gonna
Somebody
cancel
fact
this.
check because I think it's John Williams.
Who did the music for Braveheart film?
I might be thinking of
I
a
have
different
two
one.
picks with John Williams.
If it's not, then it's Hans Zimmer. But I think it's John Williams.
Mel Gibson. Doesn't tell me. I got to Google this because it's not doing it that way.
Okay, well, regardless, the soundtrack is beautiful.
Who did the score for Braveheart? Question mark. James Horner.
Horner.
James Horner.
I guess I was wrong. I was thinking
That's
of a
all right.
different movie. But
They had to have
the
that
illustrious
Scottish.
James Horner.
Hey guys, we all know James.
Okay,
Hey.
but the music is fantastic.
yeah,
The
it's
action is beautiful.
truly breathtaking.
Right? It's an amazing story,
Yeah,
right?
it really is.
I mean, it's watchable. It's one of the ones that you can watch over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't change.
Absolutely. Braveheart is top tier.
It's top tier.
Top tier.
It's
I
top
agree.
tier. All right, so T2.
T2 Judgment Day.
I don't. For those who, if you having trouble seeing the screen, it's Terminator
2.
Why? Because I watched this for the first time today.
Okay.
Why?
So, on the heels of the hit movie Terminator, right?
You know that one?
If you haven't seen Terminator, the original Terminator was good, right? It's a good movie. It's a classic, right? The visual effects aren't as up to snuff, right? There's some things where you're like, meh, and it's Sarah Connor running away from Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is the Terminator. In Terminator 2, Sarah Connor's character has developed to a new level. She has a kid. You know, she's just like super stressed all the time. Actually, she's in a mental institute in the beginning of the movie.
Yes.
This one is the Empire Strikes Back of Terminator movies. Everybody loved it because was it the acting like of the kid? No. Right? But people loved the story. People loved that in the beginning you're like, you don't know who the Terminator is, right? You think if you had watched Terminator and then watched this one, you see Arnold come back, right? And you're like, oh crap, Terminator's back. And then you see the other guy, right, who's like dressed as a cop, and you're like, oh, he's gonna save John Connor, right? Because that's what happened in the original. And it's not. It's the reverse. The other guy is the Terminator, the T-1000, right? And this one, Arnold Schwarzenegger, is another Terminator who goes to protect John Connor. And he's so freaking cool. I mean, come on. He's riding a motorcycle and shooting a mare's leg, you know, over under. Come on. You didn't think that was cool? You didn't think that was cool? That was awesome.
It would have been cool if he wasn't wearing the stupid glasses.
Awesome, dude.
Okay, the little zingers in this movie are ridiculous.
Yeah,
They were a bit
They're
ridiculous.
They're ridiculous. Honestly, this movie is so hammy.
Yeah.
I can't see past
Oh,
it.
man, it's so good.
And the thing is, when he's like riding the motorcycle, shooting, they're getting chased, they're doing all this crazy stuff. They don't have a huge variety of shots, honestly.
Right.
They kept showing that side profile
We're not.
of Arnold.
We're
Like,
not.
They just kept
I'm
getting,
not
like,
talking
right here.
about.
Him on the
I'm
motorcycle,
not
just
talking
right
about
here.
the filmmaking of the movie. Right. I'm talking about Everybody loved this movie.
Well, this is not going to be on the top 3 for sure.
Oh no, but I felt like I needed in each of my 80s and my 90s, I needed a solid action movie. And this one hit home for a lot of people. I mean, all right, can you agree with me?
No.
Terminator is beyond popular.
Can you agree with me that the T-1000's animation still looks cool? Still looks cool. As he's like
about the liquid
metal guy. Dude, that still holds up.
I would say it would be really hard to do.
I've watched the modern Terminator movies.
Yeah.
It looks the same. It looks the same. The liquid going through things, the liquid doing stuff looks the same to me. It's cool.
I don't really know what to think, honestly, except the fact that
think
it was
also
super
that,
hammy, and
I think I like a lot more action movies than you guys.
No. Oh, yeah, probably.
I couldn't get over the fact that friggin' Terminator did nothing but shoot a shotgun constantly to no effect.
Yeah.
He just kept shooting it the whole film to no effect.
Keep shooting.
He shot people's knees, and he kept shooting the dude with the shotgun.
Well, I mean, that was how you had to slow him down.
I know, and he made a promise. He raised his hand and said, "I promise I won't kill anybody." Kenzie, she was watching it with me some this afternoon before she had to go to a meeting. She said, "He kind of talks like Zoolander."
Yeah.
And I was like, how can we take this guy seriously?
It's such a good movie.
All right, well, okay, I respect you for putting it on your list. I'm glad I watched it to know that it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous action. But I'd say of the three of us, I think I've probably seen the most action movies, and these two stand the test of time.
I've seen a lot. I just don't. They're not my favorite.
All right, let's not linger.
All right.
Forrest Gump.
Dude.
I have a lot of thoughts.
Joe had never seen Forrest Gump, right? Josh's opinion on this movie is irrelevant. So Joe had never seen Forrest Gump, which isn't surprising. I didn't watch it till I had seen little bits and pieces, because it's not a kid's movie.
Yeah, highly cancelable film.
Yeah. It's aware of itself. So but there's some iffy stuff, but that stuff happened. So I picked this movie because for people in the 90s, right, all the stuff that happens in this movie, they were just coming off of this stuff. They were just coming off of the one of the first notable things is the segregation in schools, right? They're just on the heels of that, just on the heels of Vietnam, right? Just on the heels of these big, news things that would happen, right?
Yeah.
With the presidents. Every so often in the movie, Forrest he'll be like, that nice young man went off to do such and such and so, and he got shot, right?
And that's all to say about that.
And that's
all about all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
He says he draws out that.
Right? So after seeing it, what did you think?
I want to give you a hug, sir.
Yeah.
Hug?
Oh, yeah. Tuck it in. Get in there, dog. Get in there, dog. Get in there, dog. Okay.
Reason being, if you hadn't put this on your list, I probably wouldn't have watched it. At least not for farther down the road.
I've put a lot of movies on your list, but because it's not a podcast,
I've tried it out. And we don't have the same likes.
Catch Me If You Can yet? That was one of the big ones that we were. Catch Me If You Can.
Catch Me If You Can. Oh no, I was thinking because I just watched that movie before I left Georgia with my brother.
But that's been a while now.
Yeah,
a couple months. That was on your list. That was one that I said we gotta watch.
Catch Me If You Can is not on this list, so it is neither here nor there.
Hit Forrest Gump up real quick.
Forrest Gump. I don't really know what to say.
You don't know. The movie keeps you going.
This is what I say about it.
It's an emotional journey.
Yeah.
That you are able to be and experience and laugh at and cry at and be sympathetic in ways that you don't really experience because he has mental disability, and so it's weird.
He doesn't understand certain things, or he has a hard time grasping a concept.
Yeah.
right? But he sort of falls into these situations, right? Or runs into these situations that, you know, you don't think it's going to work out for him, but it always sort of works out.
He's like a gazillionaire.
Yeah, and you love watching it happen because, you know, the movie starts with, you know, they're putting things on his legs, right? His spine is crooked.
It's got scoliosis.
Right? And he has, you know, a mental disability, and you're like, man, what's he gonna do? Right? And then he just does everything. Right?
Yeah. It's really good. What do you not like about it?
I don't know. It's
Robot.
You cannot say I don't like it and then say I don't know.
We got a robot over here.
We got a robot over here.
We got a robot over here.
My opinion is irrelevant. So
you don't have an opinion on this, do you?
I kind of do.
Okay, so
say it. I mean, other people might think the same
care
thing.
for the movie, but it's one of those. It's maybe hard to put into words for why you dislike it.
I don't want to be that guy that cancels something, but I feel like when I watch
let's
this
stop
movie,
using the word cancel. I feel like we're using it too much today.
I feel like I could be that guy while watching this film. There's too many things.
Cancel the movie?
Yeah.
Okay, you can't cancel historic events.
How they portrayed some of them, yeah.
No.
He literally goes to a Black Panthers meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does.
And he doesn't say anything bad about the people.
In
Right?
fact, his best friend was Bubba.
His
Oh
best
no,
friend,
it has nothing
I mean,
to do with like that. There's just
I don't think the
there's
movie
a lot
can,
of
I don't
things
think
in
the
it.
movie can be canceled, right?
Why you guys? I feel like there's two people ganging up on me. Why I don't like the
because-
film?
You said you want to cancel something, and I disagree.
Why are you giving me the finger today? A lot.
I feel like if
Because I'm
something
getting ready to fight at the end of
I
this.
feel like if something
I'm
had,
ready to fight.
If something had happened in the movie where it was an obvious choice, right, by the directors or something to be malicious or to be unkind, right, that would be one thing. But in the movie, anything cancelable that happens is simply historic, right?
Yes.
You wouldn't cancel a movie like 12 Years a Slave,
Never seen it.
right? Where some racist stuff happens, right?
Yeah, I mean,
can't.
you know, you wouldn't cancel Dr. Seuss.
Yeah. But that's okay. But you know, I mean, it says it right there. A magical film starring Tom Hanks. Feels like a magical journey.
Okay.
It is magical.
It feels like a magical journey, you know, in the real world.
It has a lot of heart.
Enjoy
as
your
Olin
magical
Rogers would
journey.
say.
I'm gonna stick with my magical journey that I couldn't put on this list because it was 2000s
All right.
Lord of the Rings.
Jeez. All right. Let's
That's
move
my
on.
magical
All right,
journey.
we're going to yours, Joshua. Are you ready?
I'm ready for this.
Joshua's 80s picks. Here we go.
I disagree.
All of them.
I disagree.
All of them. I disagree hard.
Okay. Before we get into any of the films, I gotta preface some things.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew 80s was gonna be the biggest decade for me, but like I knew what Joseph was gonna pick already. I was like, I know what he's gonna pick. He's gonna pick I'm not gonna say what films, but the Spielbergs.
Right.
Type thing. He's gonna go for the Spielbergs because that's what he's gonna choose. I know that.
I was super happy to see your list because I picked mine out and I was like, I'm hoping Josh picks these ones that I didn't pick.
I knew, actually, honestly,
It's a good list.
I had a solid gut feeling these were,
I knew Dead Poet Society was gonna be
Yeah.
on here, and then I had a hunch.
Fantastic film.
I had a hunch
Karate Kid.
that Karate Kid was
Yeah.
gonna be on here,
I've always liked
and then
Karate
I
Kid.
hoped, and I knew Joe wouldn't pick Back to the Future, so I just sort of hoped that
Okay.
you would.
I'm not a fan of Back to the Future, ladies and gentlemen.
Let me get into this. I had a lot of honorable mentions, which apparently I'm not allowed to talk about for some
It's
reason.
because
Don't
we're
wanna
already
confuse.
talking about 18 films tonight.
I came after narrowing it down, getting tighter and tighter of a list. I came up with 4 for each decade.
Came up with 4 movies for each list.
We already agreed on 3.
And we go, you got to delete one of those from each one. You got to get rid of one
Joshua
of them.
gives us a middle finger emoji.
Yeah.
He freaking sent. He's like, no,
And then we
screw you guys. I'm not doing
we
that.
ganged up on him in the group chat. We're like, get rid of it.
Get rid of it. We agreed. Get rid of it. No discussion.
I'm at least gonna say my 4th pick, which is not on this list. It was for 80s.
Only for the 80s. You're not saying it for the 90s.
Just
Why not?
just tell just say
Because
both
the
of them.
80s you love the best. No, not for the 90s.
You're not going to talk about them. Just tell both of them.
kidding.
Just say the title.
Just say the
For
titles.
80s was Top Gun. For 90s was Good Will Hunting.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
So
that
these
was
are the
it.
movies when we said cut a movie. Those are the 2 movies he cut.
So if those are your
Fantastic.
favorite films, go after Joshua. He picked them.
Right.
He's the one who cut them. He's the one who eliminated.
They were still on my list, though. They were still on my list.
But you're the one who.
Let's
X'd
talk
them.
about this then. Let's talk about
Karate
this.
Kid.
You can start
Am I-
wherever you want.
Which
Joshua,
okay,
whatever-
I'll go with
whatever
Karate
makes you
Kid
comfortable.
because I know that ends better than this end, in my opinion.
Well, we read it like a page.
So Karate Kid. I mean, everybody knows Karate Kid.
Everybody knows Karate Kid.
It's 80s. However many years since the 80s.
Yeah, dude, I've watched Karate Kid. Jaden Smith.
They got a new TV show out this year. Or actually, no, it didn't come out this year.
It's been out for a few years, but it just came on to Netflix
and
this year.
It was number 1 for all like TV shows.
Yeah, for a while.
For a while.
Yeah.
Cobra Kai, based off this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Because everybody loves Karate Kid.
People love Karate Kid.
There's a magic to wax on, wax off. Everybody likes karate. It's just
I think what people like about Karate Kid is, you know,
the underdog
story. It's a kid who's hard on his luck, but he's willing to learn something that he maybe never thought he would learn. Right? He's what? He's from like Jersey or something.
Yeah, Jersey.
Right? And then
John
you know,
Ralphio.
I just want to go back to New York, Ma.
Ma!
No, it's Reseda.
Reseda.
Yeah, so I mean, and then Mr. Miyagi comes along,
And he's the best. All right. No one's gonna
ever keep you down. You're the best.
We can't. They're gonna get copyright strike.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with this pick.
Yeah, it was a
It's
good
a
pick.
good pick.
I wouldn't say it's the best 80s, but it was definitely there.
It's
fantastic.
one of those movies that's stood the test of time.
Okay, the next film, Dead Poets Society. Okay, I had not watched this movie till I was like in high school. I think like senior year of high school. I decided to. You told me to watch this movie. Well, I watched it, and fantastic movie.
Did I really tell you to watch Dead Poet Society?
Yes, there's a lot of good.
When did I watch it? Who told me about it? I thought it was
It
you.
was probably a streaming service you just found it on.
It was probably I had a hankering for Robin Williams, and I saw it, and I was like, let's give it a go.
There's a lot of good Robin Williams films. A lot of them. I had Good Will Hunting on my list. Took it off because I already had a Robin Williams film.
Yeah,
This film is fantastic. If you have not
a
seen
lot
it,
of Robin Williams in this film. Compared
There's
to
not-
compared to his
comparatively,
other
yeah,
ones,
I
it's
agree.
more about like the kids.
He took a back seat on this one.
And honestly, in this one,
He's like, Robin?
You see Robin Williams as the kids see him, right? You see him in the classroom.
but that's
They came to Williams. They're like, Robin, this is gonna be an easier film for you. You only have to give 7
No,
to 9.
No, he gives 100.
he gives 100.
He gives
With
100%.
There's
No,
like
7 to 9
two-
speeches.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
just the speeches.
3 speeches that I'm thinking of that he gives in this film.
All right, but
3 of them.
compared to
the
Will
one
Hunting.
where he says, the one where he's like, Carpe Diem, that one, when the first class he
I
teaches.
do like that part.
The second one when he's like, your life is a story and you're writing each something like, oh, I butchered it.
Man, this must have meant a lot to you.
Yeah, it does. I'm not good at that. And
Hold
then
on,
the last
I'll think
one,
of the line.
oh, Captain, my Captain,
I'll think of the line.
when he's leaving the school. Fantastic. He's like, I almost, though, it'd be fantastic
Teachers,
if
lawyers.
they stood up and they're like, oh, Captain, my Captain. And as he's walking out, he's like, thank you for believing.
Yeah, it was. it had some good performances. It had some really good moments. I had never seen this one.
Fantastic.
And I watched it. Didn't care for the part where the kid dies, but
You had strong opinions about it, but
I just think that I mean, was this
you want to give your thought real quick?
Was this based on a true story?
I don't think so.
No.
I think it was.
What was wrong with what was about that?
I mean that it happened because they needed a strong motive to kick out Robin Williams' character, so that they could do the whole Captain My Captain thing. But I think they could have done a better job instead of just the kid who wants to act. His dad won't let him act, and so he commits suicide. Right? I think they could have done it just that thing in a better way. But otherwise, it was a solid movie.
Fantastic movie.
Kenzie would probably agree with you.
Yeah. I mean,
honestly.
I don't know that it's one of those ones I want to watch all the time.
The next film. Let's go to the
Back to the Future. I could watch
Fantastic.
it over and over
Joseph
again.
doesn't like.
I don't know why you don't like it. You have
That's
never told me why
disgusting.
you don't like it.
I think it is
Because he doesn't like
dull.
80s. He doesn't like 80s as a decade.
I really like the Professor, Doc. I really like him as a character. But he's the only reason I'll watch it.
Marty McFly.
You don't like Marty?
You got
No.
What?
I don't.
Why?
I don't.
Why? Tell me why.
fantastic. It's mine.
Give me a reason. Tell me the reason.
The reason is there are some 80s movies that aren't real life. They're too colorful, they're too in your face, and they're too trying to be cool on screen.
Mm-hmm.
That gets under my skin quite a bit.
Okay.
It's same reason why I couldn't take the kid in Terminator.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's hard to get good kids that can act.
I think the concept of Back to the Future is really good.
Yeah.
It's just hard for me to get into. Okay, so the whole thing with time travel, I know it's just a film. I know it's just to suspend your belief, enjoy the journey. I understand that. But I prefer a stronger sense of realism so I can engross myself, unless it's completely science fiction.
Yeah.
And this is supposed to be real world.
Well, nobody cares about you. This is not your pick.
Yup, that's right.
It was my pick.
Tell us why you like
love
it.
it. Fantastic movie. Fantastic music. Mind. You have to think about it like when he's talking about going from this and breaking time.
Yeah.
Which is also part of the second one, too. And going and all that stuff. That is the second one.
And
Why am I talking
going
about the second one?
Hey,
but no,
time.
it's fantastic.
Running.
Trying to...
I will say a great opening sequence.
Yeah, I think you're. I think everybody's entitled to their opinion.
But their opinion could be crap.
I think your opinion's crap because this movie has stood the test of time because people love this movie.
Mm-hmm.
It stood the test of time.
Mm-hmm.
People love this movie, man. People love watching this movie over and over again because of the moments in the movie, because of the music.
Mm-hmm.
Every time, every time his dad punches Biff, right? So good. Every time he's getting up there and he's playing guitar, people love this movie, right?
Fantastic.
Because
be good.
And the ending. If there were no other movies, and I do like the other movies as well, but if there were no other movies, that ending would still hit hard, right? Where the doc comes back and he's like, Marty, we got to go back to the future, right? It's your kids, Marty, and then they just
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty.
Oh my gosh! Did you
just-
not know this?
No.
Okay,
You see Rick being like, hey, Morty.
The original
Morty,
concept,
Doc and Morty.
the original concept for Rick and Morty was a spoof called Doc and Marty.
Yeah. I knew this, and I don't.
Yeah.
Wasn't that? I mean, I've seen it, but I'm not that much into the show.
This?
Yeah.
Whatever.
My favorite cartoon.
So
is
let's
based
go
on-
to the 90s.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
My 90s. Let me check.
These are all good picks in my opinion. Honestly, yeah, these are really good picks.
I wanted.
Maybe.
There was a couple films that I looked at. I'm like, I want these on my list, and then there were 2000s. But yes, good pick.
The only thing I'll say is about Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
I don't remember what happens in the movie.
You don't remember?
I've seen the movie twice, and I can never remember what happens.
All right, quick premise. At the beginning, the entire crew that he's working with
I remember
dies.
that part.
They think it's his fault.
I remember that
They
part.
think he's a spy in the MIF or something.
Yeah.
He's a plant, pretty much.
Yeah,
he has to run from them.
I remember all that,
Yeah.
but I don't remember any of the dialogue. I don't remember anything that happens.
It's good.
It's
You
him
need to
talking on the phone.
rewatch it.
They're dead. They're all dead.
Yeah, like I remember the beginning. I remember
I wonder if we get a mic.
the premise, right?
They're dead, man. They're all dead.
Yeah, that stuff sticks out.
Yeah.
But then but I've seen the movie like 2 times,
Only
and not
two?
and
That's your
not,
problem.
not
You
too
gotta watch,
long
like, 5
ago
more
either,
times.
right?
Fantastic film.
But I don't remember what
You got the
happens.
gum scene.
Don't
You got
remember.
Luther.
And yet I've seen several of the other Mission Impossible movies,
Yeah.
and I remember what happens in those movies.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me,
I
it's
give my
yeah,
reason why
Sorry.
I picked it, though?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I picked it, and I know it's 90s, so it's not like super, super old, but to me, it's like the movie that kind of kicked off this generation, like 2000 spy movies.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think it kind of kicked it off. After the first one, it did become like a spy movie, like what you see an action spy movie today. I don't like the other ones as much as this movie because it's just like the classic Mission Impossible, in my opinion.
Yeah. Jinx, on a podcast, he can't talk no more.
No, I'm gonna talk. Yeah. Anytime in the Mission Impossible movies, the Mission Impossible movies aren't my favorite. I don't think I've ever made that a secret or anything. But
What are your opinions on Tom Cruise, though?
he's a good actor. I think he's a good actor.
Yeah.
Right. He plays the part very well. He's kind of boring. Like he's the same character.
Yeah.
Every time you see him, he's the same character.
That's also why, because I have Mission Impossible, I cut Top Gun because I'm like, Robin Williams,
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, you do have a second Robin in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but every time in any of the movies, they like take off a face,
Yeah.
and it's somebody else. I'm like, woohoo! I mean, we saw that.
But
Yeah, my
the
guy,
fun
but-
part about it is now they're presenting it. Now they're presenting it in the latest in Mission Impossibles. Like everyone knows that guy is a guy in a mask, and so they present it in a way of making the reveal feel like something we were all in on instead of like a surprise to the audience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was my opinion
good pick.
on Mission
it is.
Impossible.
All right, Hook.
Next one. Well, I don't want to talk about this super much a long time because we kind of did a whole episode on this.
Let's go back again and say Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah, if we're talking about magic, this is a magical movie.
Yeah. Fantastic. Steven Spielberg. Another Steven Spielberg. There's a lot of Stevens on this list. And then after that, we got The Sixth Sense.
Great film.
Didn't watch this movie till like high school.
Yeah,
late,
I was older as well, and
but
I already knew the twist.
I didn't.
I
See,
didn't either.
I went into the film. I'm like, I want an M. Night Shyamalan. Shyamalan. Shamillion. I want an M. Night Shyamalan film, but I didn't know.
You didn't
the
know
twist.
which one to pick.
I just found this. I think I found it at like a local secondhand Charles.
Secondhand Charles.
Secondhand, not secondhand.
Second in Charles.
If you don't know what that is, it's kind of like
No, there's nothing like it.
GameStop, kind of
For
like
movies
secondhand
and
stuff.
geeky
Secondhand,
stuff.
yeah.
That's
Board
cool.
games, big costumes to wear to Comic-Con, stuff like that.
That's cool.
Yeah. They have a lot of films. I saw it, got it for a
Books.
couple bucks, maybe like $2.
What'd you think about the pacing of the movie?
Fantastic.
You think it's well paced?
I think that it does get a little slow when they go off to when it's like the little girl and stuff. You know, that's when it does get a little slow, but it's still really good.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
As soon as I watched it, I called you. Like, I'm like, not gonna tell you twist. You're watching it.
This was one of the
at work.
movies that like that started off along with like Primal Fear, a twist, right? What's the twist? And this one was a big twist.
Yeah.
Right?
Was it as twisty as
But this one's a
twisty
big,
curly
this is the
Q
twistiest.
fries?
this is like this is the
Is there
one
a little bit of cinnamon on it with
I think
like
this-
twirly Q
yeah.
twisted fries?
Yeah, it's like a you know, like a twister,
like
like a tornado, like the
like
movie
twisted,
Twist.
like chocolate and vanilla
like
twist.
Twisted Sister, like the band.
Oh,
Dude, or like
I don't know with that. But
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it was. I think this is the one that most other movies are like
And
looking
Bruce
at.
Willis,
Yeah.
hair.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about that on this podcast.
Yeah,
yet.
in Die Hard and in this, Bruce Willis is out here twice.
Twice.
He
And
out
so is
here.
Robin.
Robin
and Tom
as well.
Cruise. I think we kind of have
Is
a
Mel Gibson in any of yours? Tom Hanks.
we'll find out.
So yeah, but if you don't know the twist, I'm gonna tell you.
He's alive the whole time.
Yeah,
Is the twist?
That's the thing. They make you think he's dead, but he's not.
Yeah.
He's fully alive, and he also has the sixth sense.
it's like
You wanna go to your
for
picks,
somebody
Joseph?
for someone who's never seen the movie. It's like so the movie is about a kid who's dead, and the guy has the sixth sense, and he
Yeah.
can smell. You know?
Mm-hmm.
See, what he does is he smells, and he communicates through different
Smell?
odors in the fart.
That would be a fun.
Afterlife farts.
That would be a fun segment too. We give movie recommendations, but we give a synopsis of the movie completely wrong, just to throw people.
Yeah. You want to go to your picks?
Yeah. Are we still
Solid
rolling on audio?
90s.
Yeah.
Solid
Alright.
90s.
Are we done talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to do a quick thing. The sixth sense. Right after he did this one, he was doing The Village, I believe, or Signs. I don't remember which one. However, did you
The
know that they
director.
made M. Night Shyamalan?
Yeah.
They did a documentary film that was fake, but they presented it as real. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
While they were making, I think it was The Village,
Yeah.
they made a documentary talking about M. Night Shyamalan
Mm-hmm.
and kind of presenting this weird evidence of him having like demonic powers and stuff.
Oh my god.
I think I have
They
seen
had
this.
Johnny Depp in the documentary.
I've never seen it.
I will say, M. Night Shyamalan,
Yeah.
he's either
Night. His name's pronounced Night.
Night.
Yeah, you
yes.
pronounce the M.
M.
No,
Night.
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 It's his first name. Night Shyamalan.
Shyamalan.
Night.
Okay.
Yeah.
That dude.
Night Shyamalan.
Night.
His stuff either
Night.
it claps or
Or it doesn't.
it's just horrible.
Yeah.
It's fantastic or it's not. I will say that.
All right. Very good.
Let's
All right, we'll
move
go
on.
Back to the 80s, ladies.
Realize
and
we still have to rank all these
Gotta
and all
go
this
back
stuff.
in time. That's from Back to the Future. He stops dancing.
gentlemen. All right. We got Indiana Jones, Star Wars, The
course.
Empire Strikes Back, and E.T.
Did you just like Google Steven Spielberg?
He googled good movies from the 80s.
What are the top movies from
Top
the 80s?
movies from the 80s.
I like that one, and I like that one, and that one's very memorable to me.
And they're all Steven Spielberg. So I
No, they're not.
congratulate.
Empire Strikes
I
Back is
know.
not Steven.
And Raiders is George Lucas as well, isn't it?
Yes, it
no.
is.
Oh,
Yes, it is.
Is it George Lucas created and Spielberg directed?
No,
No.
Spielberg. I don't think Spielberg was involved with Raiders.
I will say this.
I'm gonna check.
No, you guys got it wrong. This is not George Lucas.
Who directed Indiana Jones?
It's not
Raiders of the Lost
directed.
Ark?
It's Steven.
Indiana Jones is a George.
Josh was right.
It's Steven.
Yeah,
Steven. I don't know why you guys
Spielberg.
said. Oh, I don't know why I didn't catch that. Right.
I'm almost
No, it's not
I
George.
think it's a George Lucas idea, isn't it?
No.
Josh was right. All right, we'll give it to
Steven.
him.
It's like,
Steven Spielberg.
and you know, if Steven's not directing it,
Lucas.
What did George do?
he was the producer, the writer.
No, Spielberg was producer and director.
Yes, but Spielberg, Steven, he
Okay, we know George Lucas was involved.
okay.
I think.
What did you like about these films?
All right,
And
the Raiders of the Lost Ark is a time that is very fun.
Yeah.
Very fun. This is the kind of action movie I like.
Mm-hmm.
It's not realistic, but it's like down to earth realistic. It's adventure. He's freaking swinging from whips. He cares a lot about his hat. He
I know, I love it.
And he has a little fling with a woman. It's very fun, very lighthearted. Gives you
His acting's kind of hokey.
Yeah, it is. But I love it.
I don't care for it.
I love
corny.
it. It's not
See,
hammy.
I don't care for hammy, corny acting.
But I don't think his acting was hammy in this.
Like I don't.
It was just a bit. You know, we had the classic face melt off scene.
If it's not like a drama, like an artful piece, I don't usually care for it.
No.
All right. But going on to the next,
I want to say Raiders is top tier.
Yeah.
As far as the adventure style movie.
Yeah.
If you don't think I am working hard on putting that at the very top of the 80s, I'm going to work hard for that.
But you're gonna be wrong, sir.
All right. Okay. Going on to the next Harrison Ford film, Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, I think we all knew Empire was gonna be on this list. It's
think
the best
this is
Star
going to be
Wars.
okay.
It's
Unless
the
you
best
guys
Star
pick
Wars.
it, this is going to be the last because I had A New Hope on the first one because that was revolutionary.
Right.
But
This
The Empire Strikes Back is the best Star Wars.
I agree.
The best Star Wars.
I think that's pretty much agreed upon.
Yeah, so that's why it has to be on my list. I think this is the last Star Wars I'm putting on the list.
some of the emotion in this movie I haven't seen in any other Star Wars thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Different director than George
except
Lucas.
except maybe some bits of The Mandalorian. Even though there's some hokey bits in there, there's some emotional bits that are on par with Empire.
Fantastic.
So, well, we all know Empire Strikes Back. We don't have to get too much into that. It's a wonderful film.
Luke and Darth
Holds
Vader
up.
are brothers.
Dude, that was out of nowhere.
Isn't that
man.
crazy?
Yeah.
Imagine being
And
around
Yoda is
during
their
the 80s.
father.
Yeah. Well, he's like
Their uncle?
like a
Uncle-
more like
Uncle-
an
Uncle
uncle,
Yoda?
right? Like a trainer.
Yeah, just imagine being there in the 80s and just being
and
like,
then Han.
Luke, I am your brother.
Yeah.
And he's like, no! Dude, the emotional turmoil you get under
Brother.
when you hear that is like, it's the same with me and Joshua. If Joshua were to be some dark
that
figure
guy?
in a
Yeah.
mask and
Yeah.
he was to say,
But I
he
do
was
have
to
that
try to
robot.
kill me,
That
cut
robot
off my
thing.
arm,
Yeah, the robot thing.
and then he says, I am your brother.
Yeah.
I would be like, man,
Man,
I'm
that's
jumping
crazy.
off of this
and
high
and
tower.
Boba Fett essentially is like the main bad guy in all of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Is he? Yeah, he is
Yeah.
this one. Yeah, he's the bounty hunter.
Also,
yeah.
the Tauntaun, you may not
Big
know
roll.
this, is
Full of mac and cheese.
distantly related to the same kind of aliens that Chewie is.
Yeah.
They became different because they were in a colder climate.
Yeah, see, there are Wookiees and then there are Tauntauns, but the original race was a Wonton.
Done. Yeah.
I'm sorry. You good?
That guy's dying over here.
The wonton got me out of nowhere.
Wasn't that funny?
Oh, sorry, man. It took me by surprise.
You got really red.
Well,
right.
wonton sounds delicious.
All right. E.T. What can we say about E.T.?
Bounty.
A friendly alien. Who would have thought it?
Scared a lot of people as kids. A lot of people as kids, when they saw this movie, they were scared.
For real?
Yeah.
Because he kind of was creepy
He was
looking.
kind of creepy until,
Alien.
yeah.
Alien.
It's more of a...
You got
Elliot.
No, it's more of a... Elliot.
Elliot.
You got to struggle getting it out.
That's one of Drew Barrymore's first films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you love 50 First Dates.
Mm.
Same
Yeah.
gal.
And Adam Sandler.
She was great in that.
Adam
E.T.
Sandler plays the kid, Elliot.
Yeah, dude. How many people know that? That was before he got on SNL.
Yeah.
His career really took off after E.T.
I love when he's like, phone home. E.T. want to phone home. He want to go home.
He want to go home.
Went home.
So yeah,
What,
you know, we've all seen E.T.
Can we say about E.T. the kid who plays Elliot? That's just a fantastic job.
Man.
Yeah.
He
I
runs that movie.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
He carried that on his tiny
Yeah.
little shoulders.
He's got back trouble nowadays. That's sciatica. I'm hoisting that movie around.
I don't know.
I can't believe I died.
brother.
such a
You
wonton.
showed me his audition.
Yes.
And the kid's crying in the audition,
It's
and
fantastic.
you're like, you're feeling the feelings when you watch the movie from the audition. You're like,
You're killing him.
he's his best friend.
He is his best friend.
Beautiful movie.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
A very good family film.
It really
It
is.
really, because the thing is, the interaction with E.T. and everything, like the point of the film was to bring kind of a family together, you know?
Your movies. I want your movies in particular. These right here.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the best soundtrack of the 80s right here in this
80s?
slide. For these three,
John Williams, yes.
best soundtrack.
All right,
of
let's
of
think
the
about
eight-
it. Indiana Jones. How does it go?
All
All right, Empire Strikes Back. Just do the
What
classic.
are we talking like? Are we talking like the
Darth Vader? Or
Darth
we're talking
Vader? Are we
about
talking
dun, 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 dun,
Star
dun,
Wars,
dun,
man.
dun,
Star Wars.
dun, dun. Na, 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 na.
All right, E.T.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
If Back to the Future was up here,
Yeah.
best soundtrack of the 80s.
Okay, I agree with
Best
that. I
soundtrack of
agree
the
with
entire 80s.
That makes me want to watch E.T.
How does
Yeah.
how does Back to the Future go?
I don't know. I don't care for the movie.
It's
Come
like,
on, you know the
back
tune.
in time.
No, not that one.
What- which-
John-
Yep.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Beautiful.
All right.
You want to go?
Yeah,
On-
we're going to go on to the 90s. I think we've talked about this plenty. Raiders of the Lost Ark is probably going to be at the very top of it all of it. It might. It might be the best film.
I might argue for Empire.
I
All right. 90s.
Oh.
Titanic.
Oh.
You either love it or you hate it.
It's not one of the ones that I'm like, yo, let's pick up this movie. We're going to put it in and we're going to watch some Titanic.
yeah.
Yeah. But have you ever seen
That
a love
scene,
story
though.
like Titanic?
Yeah.
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 It's called Twilight, my
Have you
guy.
ever seen a love story that
It's
made
called
as
Warm
much
Bodies,
money
my
as
guy.
Titanic?
Yeah, I think it was Avatar.
By the same director. James Cameron. James Cameron. All right, but yeah, Titanic, it was revolutionary in film. I gotta respect it. It's a solid film. I have nothing bad to say about
Again,
it. I couldn't
it
ignore
stands,
it. I
it
couldn't
stands
ignore
the
it.
test of time,
Yeah.
right? When it came out,
But it would be better if they were traveling back in time, right?
yeah, if the boat was a back in time boat,
Yeah.
like a time boat,
Yeah. Almost like a DeLorean.
right? Yeah.
Time boat.
And the iceberg is a timeberg.
Yeah.
So it stood the test of time, right? When it came out, millions and millions of women went to watch it, and even now, millions of women watch it.
Yeah.
It just
How's it?
even now, millions of women force their boyfriends to watch it,
Yes.
but it does stand on its own.
Yeah.
It just
Fantastic.
It's solid. I couldn't ignore it, and I like the film. Jurassic Park.
And it gave us
Okay.
that beautiful
Fantastic
song.
pick.
Yeah.
Fantastic pick. Would have put it on my list, but
Far
Wherever you are, I believe that the heart will go on. Yeah. You're here. Okay, I'm done. Sorry. That's it.
next
Jurassic
one,
Park.
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
Fantastic pick. Would have put it on my list, but I knew you were gonna pick it because it's another Steven.
That was another one where I was like, I'm not
Steven
gonna...
Spielberg, like, let's do Jaws, but let's put it in a zoo and it's dinosaurs.
I definitely think this guy just Googled Steven Spielberg.
I've told you.
These are my picks.
This is
I did
this
not.
is a fantastic
I went through all
pick.
of the movies that we've talked about here tonight.
Hi,
and
Mark.
all the other ones.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Let me tell you this, guys. Tell me if this hurt your feelings. I looked at all the movies that you guys talked about, and I said, nope, 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 nope. I struggled at Braveheart, but I still said nope.
Wow. Well, that's because we had already picked them.
Yeah.
So
you wanted that
when it
need
comes
for
to
speed,
Jurassic
right?
Park, I've explained where Jurassic Park came from.
Yeah.
One of my previous picks from the 70s, I believe it was Westworld, was Michael Crichton wrote the screenplay for Westworld, and the movie wasn't a huge hit. It wasn't a huge success, but he loved the idea of a park where the attractions turn on the guests, right? And so he wrote Jurassic Park, and they made Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And this movie, the effects still hold up.
The thing is, when the arm falls on her shoulder,
Yeah.
and she thinks it's the dude, and she turns around, it's just an arm.
Yeah, Mr.
That
Arnold.
horrified me.
Yeah,
It
terrifying.
literally horrified
I
me.
still have nightmares about velociraptors from this movie,
Yeah.
right?
Nobody does
And
it
I
like
relish
Jurassic Park.
that. I relish it.
Yeah.
The
Fantastic.
terrifying nightmares that I've had. I mean, the effects are so good. The acting is good. Even the kids' acting in this movie is good.
Yes, but also think about that prolonged scene where the T-Rex first gets out, or just think about the goat's out there, and all of a sudden the goat's not there anymore.
And she's like, "Where's the goat?"
Just that prolonged
Or
scene
that
of
scene
them
with the
trying
ice
to
cream,
hide in the
you know?
truck from the
Yeah.
T-Rex.
Ice cream
The
scene.
scene that got me in this movie
Ice
is
cream.
is where the boy and the girl are in the kitchen and they're like hiding behind the counter, and then the velociraptor opens the door and the girl's like, "They're inside," right? That's the particular. I'm always in that kitchen. I'm always hiding from velociraptor in that kitchen, right? That's where my nightmares happen, in that kitchen.
And you hear the little...
Yeah, and when the velociraptor like breathes against the glass, it's like, right?
Just, man, they've thought through the details of this
Ooh, it
film.
was scary.
They thought through it. Steven, you're a wizard.
Brilliant.
Wizard.
And the book differs so much from the movie. Like Muldoon, the character Muldoon, he's like, clever girl, right? That character survives, right? And Hammond, the old guy, dies, gets eaten by the compies, right?
Probably would have been better if he died, to be honest.
Well, in the book, he was a jerk. He was just a money hungry, corporate jerk.
But they
right?
wanted to turn him into Willy Wonka, essentially.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, good movie.
Yeah.
Saving.
I never
Saving...
duplicate for Tom Hanks. We talked
Yeah. Another
the
Tom Hanks.
John Williams.
Yeah.
Robin Williams. We talked
But
about
let it be said, I'm the only one to have Leonardo DiCaprio on my list.
Boo. Wah. Who cares? I had Bruce Willis.
I had
I
Harrison
had
Ford
Arnold
twice.
Schwarzenegger. I have Melly Gibson.
Well, I
I
gotta
had
give it to
Tom
you for
Hanks.
Mel Gibson.
So
You
many
guys didn't
big
have John
actors.
Ralph. John
Ralphio?
John
Yeah.
Ralphio
What have you guys-
from Parks and Rec. John Ralphio with the hair from Parks and Rec.
The Ralphio guy. I forgot his name.
Ralph Macchio.
Yes. That guy. You guys didn't have him.
Let's talk about Saving Private Ryan. I rewatched this
Good
past
old
weekend.
Ryan. Tried to rewatch it. Didn't have time. Somehow,
If you haven't seen Saving Private Ryan,
One of the best war movies ever made.
the best.
the
No.
the best,
The best.
I
There
would
was
say-
literally a dude. It breaks down the horrors and the emotions of war like nothing I've ever seen before. It literally starts almost opening as they're coming onto the beach at D-Day.
Yeah.
And everyone's getting mowed down. The water's turning red.
pretty bloody.
There's a dude in shock with bullets flying by him that you see for a second. He's just looking around. His arm is gone. He picks up his arm and he's just in shock and he starts walking up the beach.
You seen the big red one?
No.
Okay. Mark Hamill.
Hmm.
I think the big
Is it
red one kind of rivals Private Ryan.
Really?
We'll see.
Who directed that?
It's got to be. It's not Steven Spielberg because this guy would know about it.
Yeah. I don't remember. It's a good movie. You got to watch it.
Well,
There's a lot of World War II movies aren't my forte because there's so many of them, and I'm always kind of like, But Saving Private Ryan, I'm always down to watch. Also, I'm always down to watch Enemy at the Gates.
Yeah. Enemy at the
Jude
Gates
Law.
is
Oh,
definitely right there.
killer.
I like Jude Law, but I've never seen Enemy at the Gates.
It's a sniper
It's-
in World War II.
Yeah,
Russia.
fantastic.
If you liked American Sniper,
We're not talking about that. That's
no,
not
I'm just
90s,
saying
80s,
like
and
that
90s.
that has nothing on
No.
Saving Private
Now,
Ryan.
I watched a video on YouTube where a real Army sniper, scout sniper, was reviewing movie sniping.
Mm-hmm.
And the two of the movies that he was like, oh yeah, this is spot on, right, were Enemy at the Gates
American Sniper.
and Saving Private Ryan.
Oh, not American
Yeah.
Sniper.
Where the one where the sniper's in the bell tower, right? And the dude's trying to snipe. The sniper in the video was like, "I've been in this situation, right? Where we
When
got a guy up."
A tank looks up at you.
No, where the dude's on the ground they're on the ground trying to kill the guy.
Yeah.
And the dude's in the bell tower. He's like, "I've been in that situation. It sucks." Yeah. Whew.
Or someone sniping you out.
Tom Hanks. So good.
So good, so good. I gotta say that Saving Private Ryan will get you in your feelings really quick.
Real quick.
But not as much as that Karate Kid.
Far more.
We're not arguing yet.
All right. Well, we're about to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let me. Are we ready to?
We're ready.
I think we're ready.
Now comes the part where we try to pick the top 3 from our picks for the 80s and the top 3 for the 90s.
I right off
We
the
got
bat,
through it easy last time.
I'll give. Maybe it's not the best one. I'll give Empire Strikes Back. That's got to be on the list.
Well,
We're not yet. Let's move to the
All right,
scoreboard.
ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your tickets.
Tickets, your tackets,
Tickets, please.
and your wontons.
Because
I was about to say, and your wontons.
Gosh, that got me out of nowhere, man. That tickled me. All right.
Back when I was a wee little wonton.
All right, guys.
Big screen.
The big screen, the big tier marker.
which for some reason I can't see.
We just peek behind you. All right, so let's start with the 80s, I'm guessing.
Ooh,
To get us going, just as a reminder.
This is going to be the big arguments, I think, the 80s.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, Empire, E.T., Karate Kid, Dead Poet Society, Back to the Future, Die Hard, Goonies, and Ferris Bueller. Right off the bat.
Empire,
I don't
Poets,
think Ferris
and
Bueller,
E.T..
Die Hard, or Dead Poet Society deserves it.
Dead Poet
I
Society
think Ferris
definitely.
Bueller deserves it.
Dead Poet
Ferris
definitely.
Bueller.
It's memorable, but I don't know if it's top 3 from the 80s.
You just want your films. Why don't we cut out your film?
Are you want to cut out Empire and Raiders and E.T.?
We'll cut out Raiders.
We're not putting...
Are you kidding me?
Okay, we're
You
not...
cannot cut out Raiders.
We are not putting Empire, Indiana Jones, and E.T. up there.
No.
Sounds good to me.
No.
Sounds great
No,
to me.
because there are people that would kill you if you didn't put Back to the Future on there. Just because
Yeah.
you don't like
Okay.
it. You specifically.
Back to the Future.
right?
Put that up there.
But this is canon for Wiseworks podcast.
And
It is
our-
canon for Wiseworks
We're
podcast.
most of Wiseworks podcast.
Okay.
You're like a tenth of it.
I don't think... I don't think E.T. should be up there.
All right, I'll give you that. I'll
think it
back
should
away
be up
from
there.
E.T. It's great, but I won't say it. I think Goonies might deserve it.
I think at the very least, Goonies deserves the E.T. spot because I think more kids will enjoy the Goonies a lot more than watching E.T.
Probably.
Even nowadays, I think if you turned on the Goonies, kids would enjoy it, right? Whereas people turn on E.T. to reminisce.
Okay, let's start with what we agree on.
Empire, I think.
Empire. Do you think Empire's on the list?
Empire has to be on
All
the
right,
list.
we'll start with there. We'll put it tentatively at number 2.
Yeah, I'd say tentatively number 2.
All right.
And if Die Hard doesn't get up there, I'm going to kill you.
Okay. Die Hard's not going on this list.
I think you guys
No,
are looking at this
Die
wrong.
Hard's not on the list.
I think you guys are looking at this as if we're looking at the biggest artworks, right? Look at the art that's in this movie,
Die
right?
Hard's not up there, my guy.
Die Hard is one of the biggest movies of the 80s. It rivaled these movies.
I say,
Die Hard.
No.
Okay, if
Yes,
we
it
can
did.
put Back to the Future as number 1, then I'll say Die Hard is number 3.
I'm
No.
not necessarily okay.
No,
okay.
no.
All right, I'm not.
I don't agree
Let me
at all
say
with
this.
either of them.
Let me say this. I'm not going to argue that Die Hard has to be on the list, but I want you guys to understand
I completely understand the hype of Die Hard.
that Die Hard was and is still one of the best action movies, right? And was on par with these movies as far as ratings.
I don't disagree with that.
Okay.
I know people loved it, and I know it's a great
I don't,
action film.
I don't want to see a bunch of movies that were these big, beautiful art pieces on there with without even considering Die Hard.
Okay, Die Hard is on our list of top 9 films from the 80s.
Okay.
Only because
It's
Wyatt put it up there.
represented, but it's represented as
All right,
well as Ferris
I'll give you
Bueller.
that.
I'm just saying, like, I would pick Karate Kid, obviously Indiana Jones, E.T. I would pick Ferris Bueller before I pick Die Hard.
You're looking at it wrong, man.
I'm not.
I think he is. He's got that like Steven. He's like, ting. Steven is clicked on.
Spielberg.
Steven Spielberg is the king of the 80s, and there's no one else that should be on the list.
And
except for
everybody
Steven.
looks over the action movies. The action movies were a big part of the 80s.
I agree with
Massive
Wyatt.
part.
That's why I put
See,
like Karate Kid up
half
there.
of our movies are whimsical adventure movies when you get down to it,
Yeah.
right?
But
Indiana
that's
Jones,
the 80s.
whimsical adventure movies.
Karate Kid.
Not as much.
No, yeah.
More of a realistic and not as much of an adventure. Indiana
Dead Poet
Jones.
Society's not whimsical.
No. Indiana Jones, adventure. E.T., adventure. Back to the Future, adventure. Goonies, adventure. Ferris Bueller, adventure. Right? These are all adventure movies. None of them are action movies. And action movies were huge.
How about let's put Die Hard aside for a minute.
I'm going to stop arguing because
Back to the Future has to be up there.
I will be willing to say Back to the Future can be on the list, but Indiana Jones has to be on the list. Why on earth do you not think that Indiana Jones does not deserve this top list?
Okay, I agree. Back to the Future has to be on the list, and I think Indiana Jones goes on the list.
All right, Joshua, think about
2 of his picks.
So, I don't care if they're his picks.
No, that's 2.
Do you think any of my picks from the 90s are going to get on the list? Maybe Jurassic Park.
I was going to argue for Jurassic Park as well. I'll give you that because Back to the Future.
I'll acknowledge that most people love Back to the Future, but everybody still also equally loves Indiana Jones.
There's so many good
say
80s movies.
I enjoy watching Back to the Future more than the Goonies. And I remember more about the soundtrack and more of what happens. So if you're willing to put Back to the Future up there, then I say of the other movies presented, Raiders is the winner.
Joshua, what
But
do
we
you think?
knew this was going to happen, right?
Okay, put Raiders as 3rd. Put
Raiders is 2nd. I think Empire's 1st.
That's what I'm
over
thinking.
Future.
I'm thinking the same thing.
Raiders is not over.
Joshua, there are still so many people that probably feel similar to me. Everybody loved Raiders.
Everybody loved
Everybody loved Raiders. Back to the Futures is a broad but still acquired
You know how many DeLoreans have been sold because of that.
And then I think
film.
there's people who can't as much get behind the sci-fi of Star Wars. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
Whereas everybody loves Raiders.
because it's got that beautiful Harrison Ford's face in it the whole time.
I want to say give Raiders number one.
No!
I kind of feel the same way. Joshua, but remember, Rhett and Link even talked about this when they did their best poster of all time. They gave it to Raiders.
And I'm not giving it to you because it's your pick.
I understand.
I'm saying it's
I'm not looking at these as our picks.
These are just
These are the movies.
The
We're up
movies.
against the directors and the stories right now.
Yeah.
Not each other.
But they're
except
all
for our
Steven
opinions.
Spielberg films.
No, they're not.
Not Empire.
Empire is not a Steven
I
Spielberg.
don't think Back to the Future is a Spielberg
Yeah,
movie.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Is it really?
Yes, it is. Have you not
I
seen?
think so.
It is. That's why he drives a DeLorean in Ready Player One.
Who directed Back to the Future?
It's Steven. I'm telling you right off the. He's the guy who did it though. He wrote the story or something. If he did.
Robert Zemeckis.
But
Zemeckis.
Steven was a big part of it.
People also search for. I don't see Steven Spielberg in this list of people. Oh wait, there he is.
There he is.
Yeah.
Well, people also search for.
He's down the line. He's not number one.
He
not
was
the
in there
director.
somewhere, but he's not the director.
Okay, but George Lucas wasn't the director of Empire.
Yeah, we know that.
No.
That's why it's the best one.
Yeah. Because George Lucas didn't
Whatever.
direct.
Pick 1, 2, 3. It doesn't matter which order. Go for it. But
It does matter.
I'm going to argue hard for the 90s of a certain
Okay.
film.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones takes first.
I honestly think it's a tie between Empire and Indiana Jones, but I'll give Indiana Jones for being the more broadly received.
See, I would like to disagree.
Because a lot of women also like Indiana Jones because of the love story, because of the Harrison Ford's pretty.
He's good looking.
He's
See,
a good-looking
Wyatt,
man.
I thoroughly disagree. You can't have a platonic relationship with the attractive coworker.
Stop. No. Stop.
I will say this, I still really hard disagree about Back to the Future being on top 3 for the 80s.
Yeah.
It
It
definitely
doesn't feel like it
is.
earns
It earned it.
It
earned it. It's still producing memes. It's still producing stuff. People love Back to the Future.
All right, well, I'm going into the future grunting about that pick.
Because we're going to the 90s.
We're going to the 90s.
Wow.
So many layers.
Okay.
We've already discussed Hook's got to be on this list. We had a whole podcast about Peter Pan because Hook is so fantastic.
All right, let's eliminate something.
I'm going to eliminate
Terminator's not on this
Terminator.
list.
I agree for Terminator. It should be on the list.
Yeah, you didn't watch
Probably Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible probably
it.
doesn't
We
deserve
revealed
to
the secret.
I didn't. That was the only film I have.
There
not
were some
seen.
movies that we couldn't watch, right?
I watched all of them.
All of
It's-
them, but Terminator.
It's okay. I knew that it wasn't gonna, be
Take
up
it
there.
from us, Joshua, who watch more movies than you. It wasn't worth
Who's
it.
definitely seen more movies than you. As we yes, the
Mustache. Hey,
superior movie knowledge and superior mustache. Okay,
I think Braveheart.
I'm gonna eliminate Forrest Gump.
Let's go.
I am going to hard push Braveheart.
I'm hard pushing Braveheart.
Let's go. Braveheart, Hook, Jurassic Park.
Let's put Braveheart at a tentative
Wait,
number 2.
why are we overlooking Save It Private Ryan?
We're not. I just want to.
Okay, Hook is very memorable, very dear to many people's hearts.
Mm-hmm.
But is it better than Saving Private Ryan?
Yes.
I just wanted to throw it out there. Please don't come at me with sharp objects.
Yeah, it definitely is. I think it's Braveheart, Hook, Jurassic Park. That's what I would say. You know that's got to be the pick.
I know Braveheart and Jurassic Park is up there, and I think Hook is up there too. But
Let's put Braveheart up there so that we can argue for the other spots. Because I think Braveheart is one of the greatest not only 90s movies, but movies in general.
It might be the greatest film of all time. It might be. We don't know.
We don't know.
I have his sword. We've used his sword in our films before. Okay, so the thing I'm really in between is Jurassic Park, Hook, and Saving Private Ryan. Is that the same for you?
No, we cut Saving Private Ryan out of there. It's not
No,
top
I'm
3.
asking him.
It's not top 3.
Saving Private Ryan's such a good movie.
It's a good movie. I agree. I agree. It's
you
up there.
You cannot overlook Saving Private Ryan.
It's on this list, but it's not top 3.
I really... There's something truly in my gut that says it might deserve top 3. Because it was made... I know Steven Spielberg did Hook also.
I think.
But I think on a human level...
I would give...
If you cut Hook off this list, I swear I'm going to get up and walk out of this podcast.
I think, overall, as far as it goes with probably audiences, I think
We did a whole podcast on this.
people would generally say that Saving Private Ryan is a better movie.
Then
It's
Hook?
it's
No, cut Jurassic Park out
it's
of there
more
then.
real.
No, you know... Okay, every single film person on YouTube has a Jurassic Park shirt, including me. Jurassic Park is a big part of cinema. Don't get up and walk away. Joshua's he's like, are we really talking about eliminating Hook?
Are we... my guy.
I want to throw this out there.
You guys just don't want to play the game.
What's something
You can't have him say... Thanks for playing the game.
What's something people
That was a
still
great
say
game.
from these movies?
You are the pan. I say that all the time. It's like
It
a
can't
daily...
just be you.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I do say crazy crack dad all the time, too.
That's not from any of these.
No.
Is there a line? I think there's a line from Saving Private Ryan that people quote.
No. No, if you're going to say quotes, Hook has
don't
way
think
more
so. I just
quotables
watched it.
I don't recall anything.
than
Okay.
Saving Private Ryan.
But people definitely remember Saving Private Ryan. I think probably the most quotable movie on this list, and I've already eliminated it from the running, is Forrest Gump.
Yes. Yeah, Forrest
It
Gump.
is the most quotable. There's too many things that Forrest
Why
Gump
did we
says.
eliminate Forrest Gump so fast? Because our loyalist fan won't like it.
I don't know that everybody out there because Forrest Gump's one of those movies,
Yeah.
right? It's not like Mel Gibson where everybody's like, oh yeah, yes, that should be on there. I think it's a little bit more polarizing, even though it is a good movie. What's something people still say from Terminator?
I'll be back.
Hasta la vista, baby.
So stupid.
Okay.
So good.
So dumb.
So awesome.
I've had to eliminate so many films.
We gave
gotta
you Back
give
to
me-
the Future.
Yeah, that was yours.
Joshua, it's because you like niche 80s films.
But you can't say Hook is an niche. Okay.
It's definitely an ish.
Comment down below if you want Hook on this list, regardless if we put it on
Joshua was
this
like,
list.
these guys in the room with me are trash, man.
They are.
I think
They're crazy crack dads.
I think the realism of Saving Private Ryan appeals to more people than Hook.
Do you think as many people that watched Saving Private Ryan as watched Hook?
Ooh, I want to say yeah.
I want to say no.
Maybe not. But the performances in Saving Private Ryan are top tier. I mean they have to be top tier in Hook, right? Because it's such a whimsical, magical movie. But I think there's...
Okay, we've already determined probably Jurassic and Braveheart are going to be up there. Is that what we're just discussing?
Yeah, I think Jurassic's on there.
Or cut out...
kind of waffling on Forrest now.
No, okay, let's do this.
I think
Braveheart,
Jurassic Park
but
has
you
to
know
be
what?
up there.
We can't have two war movies.
Mom always said, life's like a box of chocolates. Never know what you're going to get.
You know where we're sitting. We're
gonna
almost
get.
at 2 hour podcast at this point, or like
I don't
an hour
care.
and a half.
I will go for the rest of
I
the
wouldn't
night.
necessarily, because we've been back and forth. I would say How long does it say on the clock?
That's gonna be off because I stopped it.
Yeah. All right, so Jurassic Park is up there, and it deserves a spot
It does.
because the acting is good.
I got it. Let's just
historic.
kick the third. The third.
Look at how colorful this is.
It's beautiful.
It's because it's the 80s, my guy.
Dude, the 80s and 90s really killed it with the posters.
With the colors, yeah.
The Hook looks like an 80s poster, which I love so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got the best poster. It's the best film.
Okay. Of all the movies, Hook has the best poster.
No, Indiana Jones.
Nope, Hook.
Look at the details in Indiana Jones. It has all of the
look at
characters. Has moments.
So does Hook.
I know it's the same. The same person probably made it.
The posters
Same
are
design,
beautiful.
probably.
Immaculate.
Okay.
They're all pretty good.
How about this? I think more people watched Hook.
Yes.
I
do
think
believe
it's-
in
I hear.
fairies.
I look
I
at.
do
I look
believe in
at. I look
fairies.
at Josh and I hear the
do.
music as he's getting his way.
As he's getting his way.
I do.
If Hook is
I
on
do
this
believe-
list, it's in third place.
Do you not see the problems here? You're being seen as a villain. I think Hook.
Yes.
I'm gonna vote. Hook.
All right, so is Hook third place?
Hook's third place, definitely.
Is Jurassic Park first?
If Hook's going
No.
up there, it's
Braveheart, Jurassic, Hook.
okay.
I'll
Yeah.
put like that.
No, think about it. Because we love Braveheart. A
Yeah.
lot of people love Braveheart.
Yeah.
Does the world love Braveheart as
Yeah.
much as Jurassic Park?
We got
Did
a
the
whole-
world even see
We got a whole
Braveheart as much
scene
as they saw
where
Jurassic Park?
where a whole army turns around and moons everybody. It's a great film.
I'm telling you, the likelihood,
Between Braveheart and Jurassic Park, Braveheart's the better movie.
Yeah.
it's the better movie. But does it beat Jurassic Park?
Yes, it wins.
Yes.
It deserves the #1 spot.
So then we
It
have
should
it.
be no third.
Braveheart, Jurassic Park,
No,
Hook.
it's Braveheart, Hook, Jurassic Park.
No. Hook does not beat Jurassic Park, sir.
I don't think Hook beats Jurassic Park.
I already said if Hook's on this list, it's number 3.
I agree. If Jurassic Park's on this list, it should be number 3. I agree with you.
I didn't say that. I said Hook, bro.
No, you said Jurassic Park number 3, right? You heard that, Wyatt. You did Wyatt, didn't you?
Mm-mm.
Wyatt's like, I'm not going along with this.
Yeah,
The only thing we're arguing about is is this the right order?
Yeah,
we
I
agree
think
on?
Hook is.
I think we should take Raiders off and put Karate Kid. I mean, they haven't made a spin-off TV show of Indiana Jones,
Not yet.
but they have for Karate Kid.
Yeah. Star Wars.
So it's
Right.
more beloved than Raiders. They haven't made a show about it.
Do we feel good about this?
No, I don't.
Dude.
I'm still arguing for
Dude.
Karate Kid.
I feel solid about this.
No, a Karate Kid.
I mean,
Karate Kid's not getting on the top 3.
I can't express to you how
Okay.
much
Do
I
you
love
have
Ferris Bueller.
The only 2 films that would be worth it to get on top 3 if none of these were here would be E.T. or Goonies.
All right, so let's do real quick. If the top 3 were eliminated, what would your next 3 for the 80s be?
E.T., Goonies, Karate Kid.
Mine would be E.T., Goonies, Ferris Bueller.
See, you're still not even put up with a fight for Die Hard.
I love Die Hard.
But you didn't even choose it as your third top 3, your second top 3. You said E.T., Goonies, Ferris Bueller.
Yeah, because I love the.
But you
I
were
love
talking
all
about
these
Die Hard
movies.
about the-
Do you have a slide for the 70s and 60s, 70s?
Did it
Yeah.
occur to you? I just wanted to
Can you
argue for Die Hard.
Skip.
Hold
to
on,
that
we
slide.
need to settle on this before we do that.
We're already settled. We're not changing
Are
it.
we actually
Yes.
settled?
Yes.
Yeah,
So this is canon.
Yes.
I think this is canon.
All right, Joshua, do us a little like from the stage introduction to the top 3 movies from the 80s and 90s.
Okay. So, of 80s, the best films from 80s and 90s out there are at number 1. We got
Don't
Karate
say it.
Kid.
Don't say it.
I knew
Say
you-
it for real, Joshua.
number 2. We got Empire Strikes Back. At number 3, we got Back to the Future. For the 90s,
You didn't say Indiana Jones Raised the Lost Ark.
Braveheart.
Go back and acknowledge that.
For second, we got Jurassic Park. Then we got for third, but arguably number 1, we got Hook.
It was close between Hook and Saving Private Ryan for me.
Yeah, it was
for me, hardcore. I think we went with Hook because more people saw it. And there's something to it.
And there's something to
It might be a little
Karate
bit of an
Kid.
edge. Literally, the edge might just be it's more watchable for underage people.
I think
I think what age can watch a movie is Karate Kid, all ages.
I think the edge that Hook has is the whimsical nature, the acting. Just, I mean, there is something there. Something
But
special.
in any of these films, is there a song that's like, I'm the best? All right. It even has a song about being the best.
Keep me down.
I don't know. Back to the Future hits you with that. Don't take money. Don't take fame. Don't need no credit cards to ride.
I have to
train.
look at this black mark in my mind just to have Indiana Jones on the list.
Black Mark?
Yeah, I see Back to the Future and I think,
I'm about to pick this mic up and
Black
hit you in the
Mark.
face with it. Where's
All
our...
right.
Go back to 60s
let's
and
do
70s.
Let's do a quick recap. We'll show you the other one.
We're already
And I won. I say I won. I got a movie on the number one spot. There was a
Braveheart?
Braveheart was a strategic pick by me. I knew that was
See,
going on the
I-
list.
All right. Just as a quick recap from the 60s, back on episode 142, if you want to go back and watch it. Wyatt, give us an introduction of the list of films.
We've got Sound of Music. We have The Great Escape and True Grit. Those are movies from the 60s.
Our top canon picks.
These are Wiseworks canon picks, right? These aren't for the whole world. You can disagree, whatever. But for our show, for our YouTube channel, these are
ours.
these are our picks, and they are the best in the world.
Yeah.
So 70s, we gave it to Star Wars.
Again.
Well, this is the first time we gave it to Star Wars.
Yeah.
Then The Godfather, right? Which arguably maybe should have beat Star Wars.
Yeah.
Then
It was a tough one.
It was tough. And
Can we
then-
go back and do the 70s again?
Nope. It's
Jaws.
chiseled in stone. Jaws.
Yeah, then Jaws.
This was a solid pick.
Yeah.
These are solid.
There's
None-
something
wait,
about
none of these are
Steven
mine. None of these are mine.
How many did you get on the last?
I think I got Mel Gibson. I think I got Braveheart. That's it.
Okay.
But
You just got Braveheart?
that was my goal. That was my
Okay,
goal.
what did I get? Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
All right, Joshua got Back to the Future and Hook. All right.
They're both at third place, though. Because you guys don't like my pick. I think it's this guy right here.
It's
Me
not
and Wyatt
this
are
guy.
agreeing on things. It's this
I don't
guy.
know. I think I turned the vote for Hook. I think if I
No,
had
Back to the Future.
if I had agreed with you and pushed for
Would you put
Saving
Back to the
Private
Future at least
Ryan?
at
I'm
second?
the one who brought up the thing about did as many people watch Saving
right,
Private
but
Ryan
if I
as
had
watched
pushed
it?
for Saving Private Ryan, we would have outvoted him.
I know, because
Yeah,
the thing
but
is, we all have to feel okay about the decision.
I'm good with number 3 because you guys, ultimately, I got a better mustache than you. Your guys have weak mustaches.
Joshua's salty because he loves the 80s.
Yeah.
I'm
Joshua's
salty. I'm so salty. It's like eating a saltine cracker with extra salt.
Joshua, is there any way you can look at this list and feel good about it?
No.
I feel great. This is a
I'm
beautiful,
feeling okay.
This is a beautiful list.
I don't have Top Gun. I don't have
Joshua's been mad through this whole process, having to find films.
He was mad
Karate
when he
Kid.
had to eliminate Top Gun. Top Gun, you guys. Top Gun isn't that good of a
Joshua
movie.
is
It's got
obsessive
the
about the
need
80s.
for speed.
It's not that good of a movie. I've watched it several times. It's not that
80s
great.
is my decade, my guy. I could sit and watch movies from the 80s all day. What? American Graffiti. Is that 80s?
That's 70s.
So
But it's a good one.
good.
George Lucas.
Joshua, when you think about this, do you take into consideration what other people like as well,
See-
or just what you like?
What other people like. But what I'm thinking is this. How many 70s,
Because you put Dead Poet
Six-
Society on. I don't think many people saw that movie.
60s and 70s, listen, 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s, how many Steven Spielberg films do we have? Count them up.
I gotta keep going back and forth. All right, Indiana Jones didn't do Back to the Future, so 1, 2, 3 for the top 3 or for all of them?
Just your picks for Steven.
I think
A lot. Let's just say a lot.
definitively, Spielberg ruled this time.
He was the
period.
king.
Well, okay, but I think that's because you.
How many movies
have
has
such
he
a
made
fascination
recently
with Steven?
that are as good as these?
He's producing most stuff now. He's not just directing.
Okay,
as
how
much.
many movies has he directed nowadays?
There's
that are as good
this
as
one
this?
film that kind of encapsulates
Doesn't
all
count.
these films.
Doesn't count.
It's called Ready Player One.
And
It's got like all of this
and
in it.
and it is not nearly as good as any one of these films.
I
on
disagree.
The
It's
entire
got a hokey Scooby Doo
list.
ending.
I disagree.
on the entire list of every single one of these movies.
I
I don't
thoroughly
think,
disagree.
I don't think Ready Player One comes close.
No, I think it's
think
better
it's-
than Terminator.
No, I'd rather watch Terminator.
I thoroughly disagree. I will agree. There's like a childish like magic or like magic to it, but it's still fantastic.
And we're not going to argue for Ready Player One here.
I
would get into it.
I
love
get
the movie.
into
I
this.
love the movie. I love the movie.
If it's not on top three
some of the acting, there's too
for
much.
that decade,
Joshua, it's not gonna be.
I'm gonna
be.
cut a hoe.
It's not gonna
It's
be.
not gonna be.
It
I promise you,
won't.
it's not gonna be on the list.
If that's not top film of all time,
Yikes.
Are you guys scared of going into the 2000s?
No.
yeah,
Because at this point, we are for
I
sure alive.
I am because I
This
have
is
a strong
we're getting
opinion
into
about
our life.
most Marvel movies, and a lot of people like Marvel movies.
I don't think any of them. Actually, there might be.
I will agree there has to be at
Marvel
least
movie.
one Marvel movie on it, but which one? I don't know.
I think
I know
Iron
which one it
Man's
is.
probably
Iron
gonna
Man
be on
1
there.
is going to be the only. It's going to be the only
no,
Marvel
it has to be
movie.
like an Avenger.
No. Now, I would argue that the first Avengers
Yeah,
movie
yeah.
is the best Avengers movie.
We're not getting
But
into
it's
that right
not the-
now.
I
Let's
don't-
close off this podcast. We're
Yeah.
already at like 2 hours. My camera's about to die.
Again?
Yes.
You want me to?
Or not die, but it's about to go off.
All
'cause,
right. Thank you so much, people, for sitting through this grueling episode of us talking about nonsense, us laughing at Wyatt's funny words.
Wonton?
Wonton.
It's a food.
we got
Yeah, I
ups,
know.
we
It
got
was just
downs,
funny.
we got crazy crack dads.
We have arguments, a little bit of yelling.
And we went back in time. All right.
We went back with
You
Marty McFly. Come on, Marty.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you've made it to the end, congratulations. Please subscribe to us on YouTube and go to
And-
wiseworksfilms.com.
And give us in the comments why, roast these two, why we don't have Karate Kid, and why Hook is third place. Put it in the comments, because you know you
Don't
will.
listen to him. This is a solid list, ladies and gentlemen.
Nope.
And
You don't have to agree to us, but you don't have to agree with Joshua
Karate
either.
Kid has to be on this list, and it's not.
End us off with the love thing. That should be the last thing
Hey.
we say.
We love you the way Joshua
You love
loves
me.
Karate Kid.
I didn't say I love it. I just think it's supposed to be on this list.
All right, we love you the same way Joshua loves Ready Player One.
My camera just died.
It's all right. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate it. Bye.